Hey everyone, welcome to Sunday Morning Grace. I'm Reverend Elvia.
And I'm Reverend Peter. Welcome, welcome.
It is June 2022, which means that this is our last Sunday Morning Grace of the season. We will be picking it up again in September. We will have live events, of course, through the month of June, but this is the last time that Peter and I will be joining you guys for Sunday Morning Grace until the fall. Hard to believe we're already there.
Time flies when you're having fun.
I thought it was time flies when you're having fun.
Well, that's it.
Usually what he says, for real. So our theme for this month, and this all came forward as part of our celebration of the new Tenant, I love all beings with an open heart and an open mind. And so our theme for this month is love in action. So how do we take what this Tenant is bringing to us, offering us, and put it into action? And what we're going to be sharing, our ministers this month and Peter and I today are going to be sharing is how do we carry forward through the summer months, through our lives onward, with that Tenant really here. How do we put it into action?
And as Reverend Elvia and I were talking about this morning, sort of what came to my mind was there's this underlying energy, this underlying principle of cause and effect. And what I mean by that is love in action might make you think of you're expressing love, and the action, the action is expressing love. But for a lot of us, I think we like to control the outcome. And really, in my mind, that's not what this is about. It's love and making the action, but being open to what the outcome is. And so that's where I sort of went to cause and effect. In this case, the cause, I'm translating to the love in action. And the effect, you have to let go and let the universe produce that, or let the, whoever your audience is, carry forward with your love in action and make their own journey.
Yeah, so part of our conversation is that, there's so many places in the world that we can look at and say, well, I need to help there. I need to donate there. I need to do this. I need to do that. I care about all these different things. And, the bottom line is, to Peter's point, what is that passion? What is it that ignites you and spurns that sense of action? For me, and I think maybe an example would help, and certainly jump in as you have one. But women's rights is one of, and climate change. I have all kinds of things that really. Why are you laughing?
It's a long list.
It's a long list of stuff that I deeply care about, and I want to be able to impact and to change, right? So, and I realized that my passion, my role, is to be a mama bear, and to nurture and to be that home base that will fight for you and what you're here to do. Who will always, and obviously I didn't give birth to any of you guys. That's not my point. But, I view it very much the same as when we raised our kids, and continuing to interact with them as adults. It's not, I see myself as the home base. Bring your questions, bring your pain. I will help you to process it and help you to create a foundation, or whoever is happening to work with me or in our community, whatever, to create the foundation for you to be yourself and to always be that home base that's going to insist with you that you do what you came here to do. So I don't know if that helps as an example.
No, I think it does. And one of the other things we talked about was having clarity about what your passion is. So with some of these activism things, to give you an example, there, with the Black Lives Matter, there became this mantra of defund the police, and we had some conversations with our daughter, outside of our daughter, but basically about, is that really presenting the idea clearly? Because the common thing behind this was the police are doing way too much. They're trying to do social care. They're trying to be authority and prevent crime, and they're stretched way too thin. They don't necessarily have the skills to do this. And so really, I think the clearer intention behind that slogan, defund the police, is have the police do less, but do what they're supposed to do, and have some of these other organizations take over those roles, so that the money, a lot of the police, needs to go to other places. And so that to me was just an example of, in a way, there's lack of clarity in the action of expressing that slogan. And if it was expressed clearer, it would spread more love. It would spread more understanding among a wider group of people.
Yeah, and I think, and please know we're not trying to, neither of us are experts in the defund the police movement. We care about people. We care about us all getting to a place where we love and respect and honor one another. And I think another option is that the police actually, begins to include social workers and mental health practitioners and people who can show up, at scenes that are a little charged and volatile. That's the word. And be able to create the peace. Maybe they need ministers. Actually not joking about that as I say it. So I think it's about thinking about the violence that's happening in a progressive way, in a different way. Same old doesn't change things. And I think that's the point. And you're right. The conversation we had with our daughter was that those words, defund the police, really doesn't feel like it conveys the intention and the change that is needed.
Absolutely. And I was just using that as an example because I think
it's a good example.
In any sort of charged response, it can go down a track that is not, again, clear. What is your intention? And that's sort of my message. Is like, if you're clearer on your intention, then the energy that you put out there, whether it's a slogan or an expression or a hug, it's clearer what the energy is being put out there, and that's going to have a better effect overall.
Agreed. So I think, Peter mentioned clarity. How do we do what we came here to do? How do we have that clarity to know how to be in the world and to create change? And, all these, that long list of causes that I have, we participate financially. We, if I were to be called to and guided to participate in some kind of an event, I would. I have been guided to do some with the community refrigerator in Philadelphia. We will do that again when we're down there in 2 weeks. So it's all about staying in guidance and understanding that doing for the sake of doing isn't alignment. Doing what's right here and what we know is our passion, is our purpose, is alignment.
Absolutely. And there's that word, passion. Mm-hmm. When it comes from here and it carries that passion, that's when you're going to have the greatest effect. That's when the action is going to create the reaction.
I'm smiling because, I know that there are a lot of people in our community, just network that I know, and even for myself, that feel like the only way to have an impact is to be bigger. And it's taken me a couple of years, but I found this quote yesterday that really sums it up. But it's like, I'm not doing this for anybody other than God, for Source. I do this work because it's alignment for me. I would love to say, and I love that it benefits whoever's listening and whoever's paying attention. But at the end of the day, what we do isn't for other people. They benefit from it, of course. But it's really about, when we do what we came here to do, we're satisfying that relationship with God. And there's a part of me right now that's screaming, did you really just say you're not doing this for other people? Because of course I am. But that's not what fuels us. When we do things for other people, that takes us off course a lot of times. Just making sense?
Well, absolutely, because I think that when you have that mindset or intention that you're doing it for other people, there's an expectation of something back. Mm. And sort of the point that we've been getting at today is that do it for your passion and then let go.
Right.
And if you're doing it for God, then you're more in that framework of letting it go, letting God or spirit control the outcome, or letting the universe control the outcome of whatever that energy produces.
Right. Just like we can't tell our daughter what to do.
So true. So true.
So this is the quote, and it's from The Master Keys of Healing by Alan Cohen, one of my favorite people. It's just short, but it really gets to the point. Your job is to tap into your passion and express it. Where it ends up is not your business. So whether you do one human design reading that completely changes somebody's life, or whether you do 50 readings and it doesn't matter. Like it's your connection. Same thing for me. He's there.
Yep. Well, and I've really, I guess, modified my outlook on my readings, that human design has gone into all these niches about what your diet is, what your environment is, where you live, and all this stuff. And I realized people were asking me, can you tell me what that is? And I haven't really studied it. I've looked at it a little bit, but what I realized was it's about a journey. It's about a personal journey. Mm. And my role is to set foundation for people. This is what your design is. These are the core aspects. And with some people who have had more sessions, I'm willing to explore deeper, but that's based off the foundation, and that's based off of where they're going with human design and where their journey is taking them. And so that's helped me to clarify my intention and what is my role when I'm giving a reading.
You're staying true to what's passionate for you, what brings you passion.
Exactly. And not moving into, let me tell you where your journey goes.
Right.
Because it's their journey. It's your journey.
Right. Well, and it's like when people ask me who are my guardian angels, that's not really part of my belief system, guardian angels. I do believe that obviously we work with the angelic realm, but how I define angels is different from that. It's more about our connection to source and our rising above the ego experience, the physical experience. So there was a time like you where I was kind of like, well, I need to do more with guardian angels because I had people asking. I'm like, that's not my passion. That doesn't make me feel complete in here. Rosie agrees.
Rosie agrees. And I would just add, and Elvia is not saying if you're attracted to that, that you shouldn't embrace that.
Right.
And there was a time where we actually both, were in that space where we were working with specific angelic spirits, and the same with human design. If your journey is to explore, what diet you should have or where you should live, that's great for you.
Yeah.
And we applaud that. It's just not our passion to do that for you, or to put that structure around you.
And it's giving opportunity for somebody who has that expertise to connect, because I believe that we're all predestined, or not predestined, but destined to connect with certain people. So if somebody is really looking for help, connecting with their guardian angels, then there's somebody out there who is destined to be working with them. It's just not me. Right?
Yep, absolutely.
And same thing for you with the PHP or whatever it is. PHS. That, yeah. Yeah. So I just want to read this sentence one word. It's actually two sentences, but I just want to read it again because I think it really sums this up so perfectly. Your job is to tap into your passion and express it. Where it ends up is not your business. Yeah?
Yeah. It's releasing the expectation of the outcome and allowing the universe to unfold.
Yeah. So, we're recording this at a time where there was another shooting last night. There've been, I don't know.
Too many?
Way too many. There's no point counting, is there? There's so many directions that we can turn and feel like we need to help. And so I'm kind of feeling like maybe we just pause and take a moment and pray for a better world. And our tenants do that, but I feel like, let us just pause now. And Peter and I call in the day every morning, and part of our prayer is to envision a world that is whole, that is healed, that is compassionate, it's kind. Where all people feel the permission, the encouragement, the strength to follow their hearts, to listen to their passions, and to do what they came here to do. So just receive whatever you might need to receive from your angels right now. And then take this love and visualize it all over the world. Touching all the spaces and places that need it most. And then bringing it back to you. So I was contemplating why Rosie felt the need to ask for pink while we were doing that. Pink is her favorite food. Well, the color of the can. So there's all kinds of jokes in our house about Rosie and pink, but why she felt the need to scream during that. And I think I'd love to know what you think. My interpretation is that there's a lot of noise in the world, and that doesn't mean that we can't still get quiet and listen here.
I would agree, and I think there's some pain in her.
Oh yeah, she always sounds like she's in pain. It's just her voice.
But in my mind, that it was expressing that, there's a lot of pain for all of us in the tragedies in the world, and unfortunately, it's an emotion that we have to process. And again, with the theme of today, process, but then get back to, with clarity of the intention, what am I here to do about it? And whether that's pray or go lobby a senator or whatever it is, embrace that for you and do.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think it's a really fair, if it feels right to you, exercise to be in the space of every day, not from here, but from here. What can I do to better our world today?
Absolutely. So on a lighter note, our tenant for the day, and as you know, we had stones made with the 13 tenets on them. And Spirit has a sense of humor, because I went blindly to draw out of the vase that we keep the stones in. And the stone that I drew was thank you, which was a little gift from the company that made these stones. And, I wanted to share that because of the sense of humor that Spirit has, as well as the message, thank you for being you, because you are what makes the world a better place.
Exactly.
And of course, then Spirit, or the angels, delivered the message that really goes with today, which is, I surrender my soul to my sacred purpose.
I surrender.
I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I can't read backwards, so.
Like we don't say it every day. It's different when you're not doing it in order sometimes.
That's right.
Yeah.
But again, that's about surrendering to your passion, because really I feel like your passion is fueled by your soul and your heart. And when you really let go and let your soul speak, that's when your passion engages and you're surrendering to Spirit to fulfill your sacred purpose.
Amen to that. So our card for this month, and I picked this before all the shenanigans, cat, which I have not picked this card yet. This is a newer deck to me, Divine Animals Oracle by Stacey DeMarco. Love this deck. Highly recommend it. And so when I picked this card, I was like, wow, seriously, because of course we're cat people. And it's intuition. There's a couple of messages. One is I've seen 2 different articles recently about how cats, as snuggly and cuddly as they are, they can also be, are fierce predators. Like they know when to act. They know who they are, and they're not afraid to be who they are. So Rosie just came over here, so we're kind of wondering if she's going to jump up. That's her sort of final bow. But this card is about, I see it as duality. You have choice in any given moment. Do you choose love or do you choose fear? We all have that choice in any given moment. And this is about remembering that love and action is always choosing to come from that space of love and not fear. And sometimes that means things that don't feel as easy, because sometimes it means saying no. Sometimes it means not trying to fix or change a situation. Sometimes it means, needing to take a pause or a breath before responding from an emotional space. So, yeah. The other part of the message is that the words on the card itself that do apply are intuition. Cats are really represent the intuitive self and intuitive nature. And so I think now is the time more than ever where we really need to be connected to our intuition and making choices from that place, because love and intuition are kind of
Hand in hand.
hand in hand. Exactly. So let's ask him, since he won't be on camera till September. Are we complete for today? No? Well, of course we're going to say our tenants.
Is there anything else, Obi?
No. He just wants to say, I love you. Find reasons to laugh. It's really important right now.
Laughter is great medicine.
It certainly is. All right.
Are we ready for the tenants?
I think we're ready for the tenants. Please join us if you would like to, or just close your eyes and listen to these. And I like to think of them, as you've probably heard me say before, as medicine. Let these words go wherever within your body, mind, spirit they are needed most. I open my heart with deep gratitude and intend today to master my spiritual, mental, emotional, and physical energies. I am dedicated to my spiritual practice. I surrender to my soul's purpose through sacred prayer. I own my guidance. I live in partnership with my angels. I serve with a loving heart. I am compassionate in every moment. I trust it's all good. I allow immediate forgiveness. I honor my truth. I listen to the spiritual messages within my physical body. I express myself creatively. I love all beings with an open heart and an open mind. I am one with Mother Earth, and so it is.
And so it is.
And so it is. And with that, so much love, peace, blessings, gentleness, sparkling magic to you.
Be good to yourselves.
Yes. Have a beautiful summer. We love you. We're here if you need us. Be well.